you brought it up, so let's just go into the Jack Harlow thing. So we both, I don't say share our, like, not discuss, that's too aggressive a word, but we didn't think that his last single, was it First Class?
First Class, yeah.
Yeah, we thought it was good, nothing special. But again, how much Jack Harlow is winning, that song is the number one song on the Billboard 100 charts this week. So your thoughts on that?
Not surprised. I believe I'm on TikTok more than you. I've seen that snippet a billion times. The ladies love him. Of not only the snippet of him in the studio, but then girls making TikToks to the sound, reactions. And I mean, it's a classic sample. Like, regardless of how we feel about the song, like, he has a smooth flow that, like, anyone can kind of vibe out to. I heard it at the bar this past weekend.
And how was that though?
It sounded better on the speakers, but it still didn't have me jumping up and down. Also, spelling the word glamorous takes fucking like 5 minutes itself, which is why I'm like,
so did he remix that? Like, not remix it, obviously. I know it's the same. He sampled it, but like, does he have her saying something else, or is she just saying glamorous?
Just saying glamorous.
Okay. I thought he had her saying something else. That's why it was like a cool, like, nuance.
No, he was just bridging the gap between the letters by saying, like, I'm a G. I throw up the L for Louisville.
I got you.
Sex in the AM, and like, just, it was clever for sure. But I think the sample took up so much of the song. It just kind of felt like a safe, easy approach.
Right, because it's almost, dude, who do we, like, I think we should give Tory shit for this. It's like, bro, like, you take a hit and then add a couple bars.
Oh, the chicks tapes and shit?
Yeah, it's like, no shit, everyone loves this. Like, what's not to, we loved it the first time. Why wouldn't we love it? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, there's been a couple of times where I would have been down to, like, do something on a song like that, but I think it's because it's his second single. Mm-hmm. It's not really, like, brand new as far as what he had done. It kind of doesn't showcase enough of what he's capable of given the hype.
Right.
I think that's the kind of criticism. Like, this wasn't probably the best decision from our standpoint as listeners. Obviously, a lot of people love this song if it's number one.
Yeah.
But I think it's tough to hear these two singles and be like, oh,
I can't wait for
top
the album.
5. And and can't wait for the album. If anything, I can't wait for the album just to be like, I hope there's more. Like, where is it at?
Yeah, dude, that's exactly where my head's at. Because I'm like, especially like being in the middle of all those other releases, like, bro, again, it's probably, and this is the benefit of being Jack right now, besides Kendrick, because I don't think he'll come anywhere close to sales with Kendrick. He may end up selling more than Pusha T in future.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, he probably will. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like, I think he considers himself like a hip-hop artist. And dude, it's gonna be, man, that shit needs to come correct, bro. Like, it doesn't have to be, I know you brought up last week, it doesn't have to be his Good Kid, Mad City. Like, again, I don't think we're putting him on that pedestal. Like, you need to come with like a fucking, like, 5-star album. But bro, it has to be good. Like, we can't be like going through this shit and just skipping over, like, that's all right, whatever, I heard that. I get it. Like, cause like, man, like, cause I loved his first EP, and then I the last album, his first album was okay. But like, I think okay is like the most praise it got from like anybody.
100%. And I guess I really want him to do something different with this one, because we already know he's rich. We already know the girls love him. So no matter how many different ways he says that in different bars over different vibey beats, like, outside of throwing it on at, a party where like everyone can kind of vibe to something, I don't know if that's going to cut it to be in these top 5 conversations that it seems like he wants to be part of. I don't think he wants to like just blend in. Yeah. Like, I feel like he, like, kind of like Big Sean, like, he wants to be taken seriously and have content and everything.
Yeah, dude. Yo, shout out to Big Sean, bro. Apparently, I didn't see a lot of things about Coachella, but there was like an article I read that apparently, I think this nigga posted it himself, so shout out to him. But I think there was an article that like, I guess his set started around the same exact time as Harry Styles, who's also like the headliner for that day. And apparently, Big Sean got way more people at his show than Harry Styles did.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So I hope that's true. Because, dude, it's weird. I don't know why this came up, but like, I was just thinking this shit out loud the other day. Like, yo, he really is like the most disrespected, like, brilliant artist we have, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I genuinely feel that way, man. Because like, I feel like I bring him up in like other circles, and people are like, yo, why do you like him? I'm like, bro, why don't you? Like, I don't know what else you really want more from a rapper besides like, you know, shit that his raps mean something. He can be funny as fuck, great production. Like, I don't really know what else you want from him, bro. So yeah. Like, shout out to him, bro. Because I feel like, yo, like top, like maybe he's not top 5, but no, he's top 5 most disrespected. Like, I know that.
Yeah, for sure. And I actually heard somebody say Jack Harlow is like a white Big Sean, but for some reason, like Jack Harlow's whiteness allows him to get more credit because we don't typically see white dudes like have this smooth, swaggy flow. I think most of the white rappers try to overcompensate and they do the lyrical miracle shit that like Eminem was the mastermind behind. Whereas Jack Harlow is like this swaggy, fun, vibey rapper that kind of Big Sean kind of has that would be Big Sean has a similar style in terms of like bars. Like it's the witty, funny. Sometimes it could be considered corny, but it's like effortless at the same time.
Yeah, it's effortless, but I would also say like Big Sean is definitely closer to Kendrick where like there's way more substance.
Yeah, yeah.
100%. You know what I mean? Like I've never gone through like, I mean, when I went through Jack Harlow's album, like there wasn't substance there. Like he was just rapping about, again, dude, that's fine, bro. Like we have artists for everything that we need in life, which is the great thing about music. But whereas like Big Sean, you get everything. You get the deep shit, not the hood shit, but like you get the songs where like, yo, if I wanted to, I could fuck you up. You know what I mean? Like, and then you also get the party stuff. Like, yo, so that's why I just love a Big Sean album. So like when people are like, yo, like, why do you like him? And like, yo, he's corny and like only, I'm like, bro, what are you talking? Like, are we listening to the same music? Cause like, yo, Big Sean's the man.
Right. And it has nothing to do about being white either, because I've also, like, we all know Mac Miller. He's the only one I could think of really that was able to have substance like the entire time. And it was never like try hard. It was relatable. And it was something new that like we didn't really get from any other artists. Whereas I think the biggest criticism of some of Jack Harlow's stuff is that
thus far, he might have like 4 deep ass songs. Like holy shit, like so
thus far it's just that he hasn't touched upon anything new. It's just kind of like, hey, I worked really hard, I became famous, like, you know, I work hard and get bitches kind of thing. Not to downplay like his content, but I think people just
it's pretty spot on, bro.
I think people just want more given the level of hype.
Yo, you're this famous, dog. Like there has to be more. Like there has to be like, I think that it's like speaking of Big Charlotte, I think Charlamagne made this thing that made a similar comment about Justin Bieber. It's like, bro, you've been around for almost 2 decades. You've had drug problems, alcohol problems, jail problems. Like you should have more to talk about than peaches in Georgia. You know what I mean? Like there has to be more here. So I think the same with Jack Harlow. Again, we'll find out with this album, but it's like, bro, like going, like, dude, a song about his boy shooting that woman. Like there has to be, like, you know what I mean? There has to be like, yo, like I was afraid of going home to Louisville for a week. Like there has to be something that makes you vulnerable. You know what I mean? Because I think the vulnerability is what keeps us engaged. You know what I mean? Like either it's vulnerable, like you taking a chance singing, and it's like, oh wow, good for you, bro. Or you just being like sharing a story that like, oh fuck, that's, yo, we didn't realize that your mom and dad had that big of an issue, like something, you know what I mean? Whereas it just seems like everything with Jack, and I hate this sounds like we're fucking like critiquing it because it's not, but it's like everything feels like it's a fucking frat party in Louisville, and it's like, bro, there's no way this is it, you know? Right.
And I actually love all of Jack Harlow's earlier projects, and I felt like I was the biggest fanboy at that time. And then he blew up, and then now everyone loves him, and I think he's still super talented, but like once you make it, then it's like, what do you talk about? And I think a lot of artists like Kendrick, for instance, found a way to still have a different conversation. So I'm just hoping Jack Harlow is able to do that, and it's not just like, yo, I'm in, you know, this city top down with like 5 bitches.
Yeah, I'm in Turks and Caicos, Mad Hoes. You know, that's like, all right, bro, we get it. Like, we saw your IG post. Like, you could just like, we didn't need an album on this.
Yeah.
But again, so shout out to him. Being number one is still a massive achievement in this day and age.